Hello, everybody, and welcome to the alternate and historical fiction track at DragonCon, bringing to you the history of the culture of DragonCon itself. This is DragonCon History 103, People to Know. Um, and what we're looking at today is we're going to be finding some absolutely iconic and legendary people who you will see around the con and who have been there for years and years and years and have really just made themselves integral to the whole fabric of the con, the carpet of the con, if you will. And so, anyway, we have several wonderful people here. There's so many that we could talk about, but these are the selection we have for you today. And so I think let's real quick, if we can go around to each one of you and just everyone say hello, hi, who you are, and basically just what you do. Santa, shall we start with you for some Christmas
Absolutely. Well, greetings. I'm Tattooed Santa. I started doing cons a while back, pre-2000, and I've been working mostly with the costuming track. I teach chainmail, scale mail, and leather crafting classes for them. Some of those bleed into other aspects of costuming. People that need help with costume repairs and things like that. I've worked with Tandy Leather to help them get things up and running. I got started in costuming because my partner and I had 3 children of our own and then adopted 9 from foster care. And as we grew and as the family grew, they wanted more, better, bigger, nicer costumes. And I chose to learn the skill sets in order to keep them in the costumes they deserved. And so we go to Renfest with full battle gear and things like that. And so a lot of them come to con. I've got a handful that have been volunteers and such for different panels at con. I enjoy it here. I've got the Naughty Nice tattoos from Rise of the Guardians. Yes, I had to flip my screen around so you could see, so you could read this.
I love it.
I've got a handful of other tattoos that are Christmas themed. Mostly at con, you can find me at the costuming track, or on Thursdays, you can find me donating blood.
Fabulous. I was going to get to where we can find you all donating blood. Let's do let's do the Duckman and the Duck Fairy next, please.
Hello, I'm the Duck Fairy. We bring joy. We pass them out just to see smiles on people's faces. We've been coming to con since 2011.
Yeah.
2011. And we didn't get started with the Duckies till our 3rd year in.
Fabulous.
So
I'm the Duck Man, and basically it's just to make people smile. I love going out and just wandering. I will walk the whole con for all 5 days from hotel to hotel and just pass them out and see people smile. And it's not always the kids, it's the adults that I love to see. The adults just go wild. They're like, what? I get to have a duck and just have a good time. A few years back, we finally got our first panel where we do coloring with the kids. And there's no format. It's just all coloring pages of ducks and music and just a good time. Everybody gets to kind of decompress and have fun.
That's so cute. I know personally my con is not made until I've run into you guys at least once. I have so many.
we definitely have people who hunt us down for their yearly duck.
Yes, the yearly duck is a thing.
Duck hunting.
For sure.
Sorry.
No more.
Do you
Duck
know
season.
on Duck Hunter you can actually be the duck if you press start on player 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
It's true. Okay. Let us move on to wonderful Ollivander Jr. If you would please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Eric. Go by Ollivander Jr. Ollivander's my dad. Been coming to DragonCon on and off. Really started in 2011. Started making the wands in 2013, and just kind of go from there. I started kind of as a way to interact differently than just costume. Hey, that's an awesome costume. Take a picture, move on. Or just as a normal person, hey, awesome costume. Take a picture, move on. Now I get to play off the characters, and it's fun helping stormtroopers with plot armor, aim, and just various characters, helping Ariel with her hoarding, Belle with her, other disorders,
Search for knowledge.
so on and so forth. Yep.
Very awesome.
But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I don't know what.
No, you're good. You're good. Oh, this is just the brief rundown. I'll poke you guys for more information shortly. I guess now we are all three of y'all are Star Wars, huh? Zoe, let's start with you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm Zoe. I'm not anyone particularly interesting. I'm a Rebel Legion member. So
which is a costuming group for Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars costuming group. It's one of a couple. There's 501st is the big, really well-known one. That's all of the bad guys, dark side, Vader, stormtroopers, all of that. Rebel Legion is the rebels, it's the good guys. There's also Mando Mercs, there's Mando Protectors. I'm also a member of Saber Guild, which is a smaller one, and that's a stage combat group.
Oh, very cool.
And there's Dark Empire as well, which is... Scout, what is Dark Empire?
Dark Empire is essentially canonical and legend villains, as well as you can be a smuggler, a pirate, a scoundrel. It allows you to be a Star Wars.
A Star Wars. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So Zoe will be helping represent a lot of Rebel Legion and just Star Wars costuming groups in general. And then Scout, if I remember correctly, you are part of 501st, which is...
I am Rebel Legion, 501st, Dark Empire, and soon Saber Guild.
Delightful. And
not
then
Saber
also,
Guild yet.
You are notable for...
I am your resident pink shorts boom mic guy. I've been doing this since 2019, and it honestly is something I was not sure if I'd be comfortable with. And came back in 2021, and I was like, I'm still not sure about. And every year I go out, and people absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite things I get to do all con. I'm gonna drop a real fun irony. I hate wearing shorts. I actually do.
That's fair.
But
At
yes,
least it keeps you cool, I suppose.
It does, but the crowd of DragonCon is the reason why I love it, is everyone goes nuts over it.
Yeah.
On the side tangent, if you're around the hotels on Sunday night, keep an eye out for some Master Radio technicians. We will do a runaround harassing our good friends like Zoe and Leia, because we're currently looking for our mothers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I do Leia. So I will be hanging around with Mad Attack on Sunday, yelling at my wayward son.
Hey, we got a job. Are you happy? Are you proud of us, Bob?
Sure. Scout, do you want to actually give context for Pink Boom Mic Guy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So in the sands of Tunisia in 1976, there's a set photo of them filming for Star Wars. It is Luke, 3PO, R2, everyone, the whole Tatooine group. And you see a boom mic operator in nothing but pink shorts. I am not kidding.
Shortest pink shorts you can.
I'm like, they're reasonable. They're like, you can find a photo very easily. It is a very niche thing. Guilty pleasures when people don't know who I am and get the realization of like, oh, that's dumb. I love it. Is something I treasure a lot. I always can't wait to do it.
Those are pretty short shorts.
They're pretty short.
Yeah,
and then our third Star Warsian person of interest here is the infamous Chess Jawa.
Yeah, so hello, I'm Stephen. I'm 501st. I'm not in any of the other costuming groups because I'm too lazy to submit any costume approvals. But I'm in 501st at least. I'm the Chess Jawa. I mean, as the name implies, I dress up as a Jawa and I play chess. I've been doing it I don't know how many years. I think 2012 or 2013 was when I started playing. But it's been a while, and I don't really recall the early years.
I mean, I believe you were like little when it started.
Yeah, so I started playing chess when I was 10. I started coming to Dragon Con when I was 11, and I started doing the chess Jawa maybe a year or two after that. So I've been doing it for over half my life at this point, which is maybe slightly concerning.
Over a decade's worth of like just chess and chess and chess and chess. I mean, but it's become so iconic, and you have a everyone knows that you're very difficult to play against.
I'm coming up on half my life at Dragon Con too.
Yeah. Well, fabulous. Okay, so I think the next part, some of y'all have touched on it. So what do you guys have going on? Are there any particular events or panels where you're doing your thing? Or if you haven't fully explained what your thing is, if you can give us some info about what you do. I guess we'll go in the same order again. Let's start with Santa.
This year is the first year in about 20 years that I will not be an attending professional. I'm volunteering for a couple panels with the alternate history track, but I wanted a year to just kind of enjoy the con and not have any real schedule. They've got me for a couple panels here, but other than that, I'm going to be roaming the con floor as much as possible. Getting a chance
Santa?
to actually, yeah, Santa. I'll be in gear. On some days, I may just be in kilts and, I have a Santa kilt and Santa shirt and things like that. If I leave my room, I will be Santa'd up in some way or another. I generally, like I mentioned earlier, Thursdays I donate blood. That's my normal every Thursday of con. I donate blood. That's also how I get my T-shirt. So I have a souvenir for free every year. And generally I'll be at the costuming track. A lot of my friends are there. Sometimes some of the costuming groups will have a costume repair shop out front in case people have emergencies and need repairs. I'll sit there and help them with those too. Along with my scale mail, chain mail, and leather crafting, I have other skills that I can use. I'm just not as good at those, but I can help somebody repair something pretty quickly. So look for me wandering the floor. Look for me in the costuming track areas, and then I'm doing a couple panels for alternate history this year.
And so, like, to give some context for people who don't fully know, for new people who may not know exactly who you are, like you don't just look like Santa, like you are Santa, like professionally.
Right. I do professional Santa. I have done Hawks games. I've done the Peach Bowl, the players and staff for the Peach Bowl. I do Santa gigs throughout the year, some in July, mostly starting in mid-October. I'm booked from mid-October to the end of the year doing professional Santa gigs. My wife has figured out that I'm a supermodel from October to December, and then
amazing.
And then after that, I'm just back to normal.
That's fair. And I don't know if we can put pictures up or something in the recording, but you have a site and you literally have so many variants of Santa.
As of today, and this is pre-con, this is being pre-recorded, so this number may change. I have 42 different complete versions of Santa, ranging from Mandalorian Santa to scale mail. I've got a scale mail Odin. If you want to go out to my website, it's thetattooedsanta.com. I've got a bunch of stuff up there. I've actually got 4 that aren't on that site yet that I've created this year. Most of them are my creations or commissioned from my thoughts. So somebody else, y'all commissioned the work if it's something beyond my skill set. But yeah, I am almost always Santa. Everywhere I go, people call me that. I do have the ink to show, if somebody asks. I've got a little bit more here. Yes, I've got what's wrong arm. I've got Jack over here. So yeah, it all depends on what you're looking for. If you want to take Santa pictures, let me know. At that website, there's also email and social media links if you want to chat with me and meet me somewhere. I can usually be, if I'm not on the con floor, I'm usually in the food court having noodles. There's that
That's
little
fair.
noodle place right next to the elevators.
Yeah,
That's
that place is pretty good.
every year I go there and I'm like, I just got to get noodles.
And then, so throughout the year, you do a lot of I know you do Ren Fair a lot, and you
Right.
do a lot of charity, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Lots of charity work. There's a couple of artists communities that are supporting like battered women's shelters and things like that. I mentioned earlier that we adopted a bunch of kids. I also try to give back to the community that's trying to help other people. A lot of mothers need to get out of situations, and if they have somewhere to go that's safe, so I try to help those communities. We'll do photo sessions, and they charge for the photo sessions. I'll donate my time, and then the money goes to the communities instead of just in my pocket or the artists.
Very cool. And then, I guess just sort of out of curiosity, how did you get started in doing this?
I went gray when I was 19.
Oh, really?
Really? I started going gray when I was 19. If you look at my website, there's one that's Steampunk Santa, where I still have the dark beard and a dark stripe running down one side. That was the last one that I pulled off that was actually still some darkness in my beard and mustache.
Oh, wow.
The
Yeah.
mustache comes in a little bit dark still, so I have to bleach it if I want to do a photo session. But other than that, this is me. My children were watching movies, and they went and saw Rise of the Guardians. And I was already doing Santa at the time, but they pushed me to get the extra tattoos and change that. So, but yeah.
That's very cool. Very cool. And it's. I mean, I'm sure you're booked throughout. I mean, like you said, you're a supermodel until December.
From mid-October until the end of the year, I'm pretty booked. There's a couple other smaller conventions and kind of like Renfest type things that book me that pay me to go.
Are you
so
local
I'm there.
to Georgia, or?
I am in Northeast Georgia. I am almost in North Carolina. If you go so way up, almost. I mean, like 10 minutes from North Carolina.
And I know you said this before. You're basically wandering around at con just.
This year, yes. Normally, I will be at the costuming track, but I've taught panels and classes and make and takes where I've taught chainmail, I've taught leather crafting, and I've taught some scale mail classes for the costuming track. Last year I did how to make a chatelaine for alternate history.
Oh, very cool.
Utilizing the same skill set.
Right. Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you. I will go on to our next, which is the Duckman and the Duck Fairy. So you mentioned your coloring event that you guys do. Are there any other events that you guys do, or is it mostly all just doing the wandering?
Andy does most wandering. A lot of times you'll catch me in the Hilton. I hang out with the musicians on the Filk track.
Oh, fun.
Down. What's that?
And I realize that it's pretty iconic to most of us, and from what you guys are wearing and what's behind you. But for the people who don't know, can you explain who are Duckman and Duck Fairy?
I can't costume. I'm into so many different things. And she suggested that when the first time we brought a couple of ducks up there with us, and they went in like an hour, and I don't have the skill set to do it. So
basically, he wanted to cosplay and couldn't figure anything out. And we already had this collection of rubber ducks. I said, make a crazy hat and be Duckman. And then he ordered 80 of these.
Only.
Oh my
gosh.
80 to start with. And anyone who said anything about, oh, I like the duck hat or the shirt because he got a t-shirt, we'd pass them out. Well, the next year he ordered 300. They went like that again.
Oh, I'm sure.
The third year I was like, well, I'm helping you pass these out. I'm going to be the Duck Fairy. And that's how it started. And we also normally march in the parade.
We do the parade every year.
And we do a local parade here in Columbus. It's called Strut the Hooch. It's April Fool's weekend, basically. It's the way they start out our market days downtown Columbus. We're in Columbus, Georgia, down by what used to be Fort Benning. And we usually go up to LaGrange for a family-friendly Mardi Gras that we march in.
Yeah, that's in February. With people we met at con.
Exactly.
Who invited
do you still
us
do the duck thing? Do you still hand out
Yeah.
the ducks?
Oh, yeah.
That's lovely.
We've been Beetlejuice and Lydia, and the duck was the sandworm.
Oh my gosh.
We have a giant duck that we take through it. And but yeah. And we've done charity work before with
Out of the Closet
Out of the Closet
in Atlanta.
And then
there's a school system out in East Cobb, a back to school program that they did. They would do a welcome back to school festival, and we've done that a few times also. They invited us. It was another con person that met us and said, you need to come out and have fun with the kids.
He was actually part of the social services there in Cobb County.
Oh, cool.
So we haven't done that since COVID because I think they postponed it a little bit. But yeah, we're up for doing charity work too. We both usually give blood too.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yes.
Is that your Thursday usually?
Yeah, that's our Thursday, and we make sure. That's one of the things I started a few years back. Is I make sure I bring a 2-gallon bag of ducks for every volunteer.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they love it because I'll find the director and I say these are for everybody. Make sure every person here does it because they're doing great things. So and my goal is to try to get 10% of con every year.
Oh gosh.
We go through about 20,000 ducks per year. You got to get a distributor when you get to some point.
Oh my goodness.
We order them in batches of anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 at a time.
Holy
the
cow.
FedEx guy
That's
loves
a lot
us.
of ducks.
I was like, oh my god, that's a very
You must have your
squishy
ducks in a
package.
row.
Yeah. How do you
Oh my
store them
God,
all?
Scout. Oh.
Giant totes.
Totes that are on wheels.
Yeah, we're sitting on 100 gallons of ducks right now.
Like, how much of your hotel room is
Oh my God.
ducks?
It's a lot.
Do you just open the bathtub and it's all ducks?
Just
Actually, it would fill the tub plus.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
2,000.
Okay, so the rubber duckies came first, right? And then you guys started doing the duck people thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Is it just because they're cute and they're fun?
You can't get angry.
It's
You could be
true.
having the worst day ever and somebody will hand you one, or you can have, I've had people having panic attacks or just kind of overwhelmed the con and just give it to them and they're like, okay, I can calm down. I have something, I have texture, it squeaks, I can smile, I can just come back to reality for a minute. And
How many people start singing when you hand them one?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Oh,
Probably
I'm sure.
about
Oh no.
10% of the
that.
people we give them out to.
Oh, that for you, I'm doing it every night. So
Yeah. I know, at least for me, when we ever run into you guys, we're usually in a big group, and inevitably after we've found you, we start walking around just squeaking the ducks. Like, so I love when you walk into an area of the con, you can just hear squeaking. You're like, the duck people are here,
Or they have been
find
this
them.
way.
Yep.
It's awesome because now there are other people bringing ducks, and some of them are special ducks. Some of them are the teeny
I said the
tiny
little
little ducks.
Yeah.
Little ones. Yep.
babies.
And we love that we started this.
I mean, running into you guys, at least from whenever time I've found you guys, you, first of all, you're like all hours of the day. I found you at like 3 a.m. once. Like, it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it really does, like, it brightens your day. Like, doesn't matter if you, like you said, you have a panic attack, or if like just it's hot and you're tired, or you're walking back to your hotel room and all you want to do is take everything off but like ducky. Like, it really is so charming. For new people, if you ever run into these two, you are welcome to Duckies, and they will make your con the best thing ever. So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are wonderful, and it is an honor to get to interview you here. As it is with everybody else, not saying anything in one way or the other. Another very iconic person here. We have Ollivander Jr. You kind of gave a brief rundown of sort of what your deal is. Can you explain sort of what you do specifically during the con, and if you have any events or places we can find you?
I'm the wand guy. I make wands. So here I'm technically behind schedule, but usually in 6 weeks I'll make 300 to 400 wands.
You literally you make them yourself.
Of course, and Ollivander always makes their own wands.
That's fair. That's fair.
They're all one of, so you will find the wand that is perfect for you. Hint, hint, perfect. And yeah, I kind of wanted to make sure to interact differently, and it's fun. Not to mention, it's a way for people at my age that grew up with Harry Potter that can't go get the wand experience. It's fun helping people find the perfect wand. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And, you can to see the joy on their faces when they find their wand or whatnot. And yeah, I just have fun playing off the characters. It's hard trying to keep up with all the characters.
Is there a particular place that you do your wand thing?
Okay, this has been one of those things where I started with the wands in 2013, and I started in the parade, and I set up in the Marriott after the parade. And I've set up in the Marriott after the parade ever since, and I still get people that I've never been able to find you. I have never moved.
Well, they may not know your schedule as part of it.
But I always
they'll know now.
Yeah, they'll know now. It's got some fun. I actually, friends of mine helped make a little chalkboard where I go, because it is funny where, oh my God, I've been trying to find you for X amount of years. And I have had that people to come up to me like, I finally found you after X amount of years. So now I kind of keep track year by year. It's like most of them are about, average is about 5 to 6. And that kind of blows my mind. It really does. Especially considering when I first started, we kind of had to pull people in. It's like, you're wand fitting and yada, yada, yada. My friends had to pull people to me. And now it's just like, set up. Oh, there's a line. Oh,
man.
Okay. And I have to have helpers. I never thought I'd ever have helpers.
That's great. So do you do you pick particular people out, or is it when people come to you, or?
They just form a line.
That's fair.
Yeah, they form a line and they have to, and it's about a 10-15 minute wait, I want to say. Yeah, I actually have to, my minions have to kind of like, all right, he's going to have a break or else I'd be there for 6 hours straight.
You're kind of like a weird mall Santa in a way.
Yes.
So are they? So these are all, and the ones that you make, they're all. Are they like just turned on a wood lathe, or do you actually put some more different things into each one?
They're all on a wood lathe. They're all the various wand species that are, I guess, the official wand woods as best as I can source them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I will just spend so many hours a day in my little workshop turning out wands. About 10%, I'll do what I call the full workup, where I'll polish them out. Most people, I hate to say, will only get the sanded ones, not polished.
Yeah.
Because I just don't have time to polish them all. I just don't. Maybe I should start a little earlier.
I mean, it's still a lot of work. Like, you're doing this for free.
Yeah.
But yeah. So basically the Marriott after the parade for sure, and you're in the parade, I'm assuming, with the Harry Potter group.
Yeah, that unfortunately I have to push the cart up there because the buses can't haul it, and all the cars and trucks and whatnot are already up there. So yeah, that cart's 150 pounds of wood.
Ooh. Did you build the cart too?
Of course.
That's very cool.
Yeah. hopefully it'll get some upgrades to make it a little easier. But
So are there any other places that you set up during the con, or is it mostly just that?
it kind of depends. Sometimes I'll do the Hyatt. Sometimes I'll do the Hilton. One year I'd love to get up to the Westin. That's another hill, and I hate hills.
Yeah, that hill is killer.
Yeah.
Need to put a motor in your cart.
Newbies, I agree with you.
Maybe with an
Thinking
engineering
that hill
team.
is a pain, then yes, you're right. We also think it's a pain.
But no, it's kind of one of those, like, I'll just set up and someone goes, oh, he's there, and then the word gets spread, and all of a sudden 3 people become 50 in a heartbeat.
Oh gosh.
And I just kind of go like, wait, where did you all come from?
You do it all throughout the entire con, or is it just on Saturday?
Saturdays and Sundays. I did a few last year on Friday. This year I'm hoping to do all 4 Thursday through Sunday.
I assume you have to pace yourself with how many wands you bring out per day and all that.
Well, no, they're all. It's this whole. The cart has them all.
Oh.
And it just kind of works out. Like here's an 8-hour day, however many I hand out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's an 8-hour day. I'm working 8 hours a day.
Being in character for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though. That's very. I've actually never gotten to run into you, but like again, you've been a legendary, like, people talk about you.
That kind of blows my mind. Like it's just one of those. It's just, again, I do it because it's fun. Again, it's fun seeing the interaction and seeing, what happens after.
So what I heard was this panel, the live panel, is going to be on Thursday, and he's going to have all of them Thursday night. That's what I heard.
Thanks.
We know exactly where he's going to be.
Yeah. Whether or not I bring the cart is the other thing. We'll see.
That's fair.
Especially at 150.
Yeah. Good Lord. Well, very, very, very great. Okay, so let's move on to our Star Wars fiends over here. Oh, good, we're on good time. Who did we start with? Zoe? Yes, Zoe.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Rebel Legion and where we can find you. Do you have any particular events?
So Rebel Legion's it's an international organization.
Okay.
I'm part of the Illinois chapter. I'm away for college, but I guest with the Georgia chapter, which is Bespin base. We're lucky, and our garrison and Legion, everyone gets along very well down here. So if you find Rebel Legion at an event, you'll probably find Stormtroopers as well. I know around the con, we do typically have a booth down on the bottom floor of the Marriott, or not like the bottom floor, not the photo floor, but one above it.
Okay.
And usually they set up the Death Star hallway. I think usually they do that. There's also the droid room, which is like my favorite room to hang out in.
That's great. For people who don't know, the droid room, there are people who build like R2D2s, BB-8s, Wally. That's not quite.
Yeah, Wally's kind of an honorary member of Droid Builders. But that's a great place. Lots of kids, families go up and hang out there and just chill. I like it because it's more calm than the rest of the con.
Also, it's a little cooler right there.
It's a little cooler. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. I know big Star Wars group at the end of the parade. That's us. We've got the Sandcrawler. We have the Jawa Horde in Georgia. So Sandy, our Sandcrawler,
there is a giant, for people who don't know, who've never seen the parade, there is a giant Jawa Sandcrawler literally in the parade.
Yeah.
Yes. 1 year it had popsicles.
That all gets put together on site. It's really I have yet to see it. I've yet to do the parade with 501st or Rebel Legion yet.
Oh, the parade's so much fun.
Yeah, I've done the parade. I just haven't done it with Rebel Legion yet. So I'll do it this year. So I know I've got an event. I don't know when this is coming out. I've got an event next weekend where I'm doing Leia. We do all sorts of like hospital charity around lots of, ideally we like to do like hospital events like hospital visits, kids, that kind of thing.
Sure.
We'll do Make-A-Wish. We'll do race appearances. Scout, let me know if I'm forgetting anything.
So for those who are local to Georgia, you might be familiar with the Burt Show. We work with Burt for Burt's Big Adventures, and for those who are not familiar, they raise money for chronically ill children for them and their families to go to Disney, and it is honestly the most emotional events I get to do. We go down to Hartsfield Jackson, dance with these kids, give them an amazing night, and send them off to Disney.
That's so cool. I had no idea.
There was a
That's
photo
really
of me
cool.
handing a trading card in my typo to a kid, and there's a photographer captured a kid's shock when they realized that was me giving the card of myself to a kid.
Yeah.
We do it all over the world. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so
it
cool.
is.
Yeah, so the Rebel Legion 501st, both of y'all, it's kind of, you're not particularly one person, you're just kind of a
we're an organization. We're kind of like an entity on our own. Yeah.
And generally speaking, you can find people all over the con dressed as that or whoever. Now, not necessarily everybody's in the 501st or Rebel affair.
Right. There'll be Mandos wandering around that are Mando Mercs or Mando Protectors. There's two different groups. There's different rules for different groups. But yeah, if you see stormtroopers walking around or lots of any of the costumes that look like they might have walked off of a Star Wars screen, very well could be 501st, and if they're not, chances are they're looking into it, or all sorts of different stuff. So you can find us pretty much all over the convention.
There's not any particular. Are there any particular like Star Wars events that you guys are running, or?
I know. Scott, do you know if we can talk about the Star Wars?
I can talk about some of this. So we actually, our members are between 501st and Rebel Legion locally. We run the Star Wars cosplay contest.
Oh, really? Okay, very cool.
Yes, that is our members. If some of you have been there recently, you might wear a Gil. That is also one of our local members.
Yeah, that is Sunday night this time.
Correct. There might be something going on.
There's something we're trying to coordinate, some behind the scenes stuff.
Please show up. We would love to support.
After the masquerade and all that, or
so it's about what is it? It's like 6 o'clock, and it's in the smaller ballroom in the Marriott, the Imperial.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
We will have an intermission. I cannot say more.
We're not allowed to say more yet. But there's something in the works for that. Droid builder area. So the droid area is a great way to meet the droid builders specifically. Those are all of the R2s, any astromechs. So R2s, we've got, sometimes there's a chopper running around up there. Wally is a pretty common guest. Mouse droids are very popular.
I saw one last year that was like, it was one of the ones, I think from I can't remember what. Model, but he was on a bike.
That I know exactly who that is. That is Saw. That's Star Wars.
I think he had Baby Yoda in the back.
No,
that was
the trolley. The trolley.
Yeah, okay.
So that is
it was like I ran into a bunch of them at the same time. I was like, oh my gosh.
So that is a character from Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
The droid that pulls the trolley that Anakin and Padme are riding in and
on Tatooine.
On Tatooine. Yep. We're not nerds. We don't know off the top of our heads.
I don't think it was mentioned. For those who don't know where this is so if you're in the atrium, the top level of the Marriott, it is the area between the sky bridges. It is where the Star Wars track is where I think it's alternate history track is also there.
Yeah.
And the puppetry track is also in the same area.
Yep.
Yeah, the puppets, yeah.
Yeah. And then
actually that's appropriate for the droids to be near the puppets track.
It is appropriate for the droids to be near puppets.
Mm-hmm.
And then personally I will be just wandering around. I will be accompanying Mad Attack as Leia, yelling at my son for causing problems and getting harassed because it was chaos last year, and it was hysterical. It was great. Actually, last year I have a version of my Jedi where I've got the Marriott carpet on my tabards.
Yay!
Hopefully I'll bring that for Thursday and wear it for the actual panel. But Saturday I'll be in the parade with 501st and Rebel Legion. And I will probably be in Ahsoka that day. And if there are any Anakins out there that run into me as Ahsoka, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you emotional trauma and give you a Padawan braid. So
well, let's transition a little bit over to Scout because we are
go ahead.
starting to run low on time here. Because when we also, because Scout with the boom mic guy who shows up, you photobombing the big photo shoots kills me every time.
It's one of my favorite things to do. Now I will say for people who I personally request don't interact with the mic. If you're getting a photo of me, don't interact with it.
Good to know.
But if you're Deadpool, Gwenpool, or anyone that breaks the fourth wall, break your leg, do what you want. So I feel like they're the most. But it's one of those things that I did it on a whim. I literally put the costume together in a week. I want to spoil something. My boom mic is not a boom mic. It's a paint roller. I'm too broke to buy a real boom mic.
That's fair. I mean, it's probably easier to do a paint roller than to bring a very potentially expensive piece of equipment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, it's absolutely one of my favorite things I do. I typically will break it out once the sun goes down, essentially. Once I'm like, all right, I'm done doing normal cosplay, I'm on where...
It's the fun cosplay time, yeah.
Nothing. But I very much go throughout... I have long legs, I'm tall, I will be all over the place. The only day I don't think I'm doing is Thursday because of Bunny Hutch.
Are you involved with Bunny Hutch too? Or?
I am very excited to participate this year as a clever girl from Jurassic Park. We're doing an entire group of Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. It's actually my first time doing Bunny Hutch, so I'm very excited for it.
Scout, just to clarify, Clever Girl is what?
The Raptor. Clever Girl.
Just in case anyone didn't know.
Yes, the Clever Girl Raptor.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't found a hunter that I can harass. Hey, Zoe, you want to volunteer as a hunter?
No.
And then, because you guys have talked about it a couple of times, so
yes.
Matt Attack is the Matt the Radar Technician, and this is another event. There's a running of the Jurassic Park. Oh my god!
Oh, the inflatable dinosaurs.
Yes.
Inflatable dinosaurs,
and we overlap. We always overlap. We are starting.
Yeah, and then so the Matt Attack is the Matt the Radar Technician. I call it the running of the Matt the Radar Technician.
So for those who don't know about Matt, back in the day before Force Awakens dropped, there was an SNL skit. Most of you should know the show Undercover Boss. SNL was like, what if we put Kylo Ren undercover as our radar technician? It is still one of the highest quality sketches I have ever seen them do.
Yeah.
But we love doing it. We will go out and find our mothers and fathers and sometimes even grandfather.
Basically, if you're in a Skywalker adjacent costume, so Han, Leia, Luke, Padme, Vader, Kylo, not Kylo, Anakin. How did I forget his name? You will probably be yelled at if you're there on Sunday night.
It's not yelled at. We are just ecstatic to meet it.
It is yelled at. You yelled at a child from the escalator last year.
Because it's like, it's our grandfather.
You yelled at. I mean, I pointed it out.
Also, the thing about Mad Hack, if you're interested, it is 8 p.m. We start in the Hilton. You just literally show up. We will
just follow them around. It is absolute chaos.
They're all wearing orange. They're pretty easy to follow.
Oh yeah,
they're wearing orange vests and a tan jumpsuit and blonde wigs, and they're all carrying Kylo sabers and shouting random lines from the skit.
Yeah. Well, I see what your mind, Zoe, and it is stupid.
Before we run out of time here, I do want to move over to the Chess Jawa for a bit to just sort of discuss his thing here. So you started, I did some research, I apologize. You started when you were 11 in 2012, and how did this really begin?
So, I mean, it basically began because my brother is a much larger Star Wars fan than I am, and he is very invested in the Star Wars track and went to all of the panels. I mean, he runs the trivia contest now. He volunteers.
Oh wow.
And I was not really interested in sitting at the track all day and watching the panels because I don't know, that seemed boring to me.
I mean, you were 11, like yeah.
Yeah. So instead, I decided that I was going to go play chess and sit all day doing that instead, which is much more interesting. Clearly, right?
Yes.
So yeah, the first year I did it. I was 11 and I was in my costume and I had my chess set and I just went and played some people. And some random guy that I played gave me money and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just donate this to the charity. I don't really know, but I was just there playing chess. And then in future years I basically decided that okay, like, I can play to actually try and raise money for the Dragon Con charity. And, as, the years progressed, I've added, more, like we have to bring our own tables and chairs now, because they're no longer available in the Marriott. I'm sure that, Ollivander Jr. has experienced the feeling of being a furniture mover at the con. Just having to lug all this stuff around. Thankfully, ours is not 150 pounds.
At least mine's on wheels, so at least I get to push it around a bit. So it's not that.
Yeah.
And so, where do you set up your chess? If it used to be outside, like where the Starbucks was, but I don't know if is it still there?
It is still there. Yep, we always
on the Marriott. By the way.
Yeah, so it's the Marriott, the floor above the like. It's not actually the ground floor, as Zoe said.
Like the middle.
It's the floor above that. I don't remember what it's actually
called. The lobby
called.
floor.
Yeah, I think
it is
so.
The lobby floor. Yeah, because that's where you come in after the parade.
Yeah, but it never seems like it's the lobby to me, so I never want to call it the lobby floor because people get confused. But we're right outside the Starbucks. And usually there's someone there holding a giant sign that says "Play chess with the Jawa." So usually we're pretty easy to find.
That's
for when I play, it depends a lot on the year and how the costume is feeling. I usually start in the mornings between 8 and 9, and I usually stop around dinner time. Depending, I will take a break for lunch or just eat at the board with a small break. I did bring some small props. I brought, if you play against me, you get this sticker that says I played with the Jawa.
That's awesome.
Everyone that plays gets a sticker. If you beat me, you get one of these patches. Usually I give out 1 to 2 of the patches a year. We bought 200 of them years ago and we haven't made a dent in it, so we're just gonna keep using those until we eventually run out.
Yeah, I actually have your stats from the past 2 years, and you only lost 2 games in last year and the year before was 2 games, so 4 over the past 2 years.
Yeah, and both that's higher than it has been before. I remember last year I was annoyed at the games that I lost, but it happens.
I must say, it must be kind of an event if someone actually gets to beat you.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's usually the case that I don't lose any games on Friday, and like sometimes I'll lose on Saturday, but like when I'm losing, it's definitely on Sunday after, if I sit there and play 8 hours a day for every day during the con, I'm not playing well at the end of con, and it definitely shows. So if you want the patch,
Sunday is the best time.
Go end of day Sunday is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yes. And definitely end of the day also, because usually I haven't eaten in a long time. So I'm making the most mistakes at the end of the day and later on in the con.
And then you, like you said, you donate all this money for charity, and the past, again, the 2 years, so 2022, I think both years your goal was 3,000, and 2022 you got 3,361 for Open Hand Atlanta, which was the charity that year, and then last year the charity was Cure Childhood Cancer, and it was 3,222.
Yep.
Are you still at the 3K goal this year, or are you hoping?
Yeah, that's my goal. So when I play, I don't charge anyone to play. It's free to play. I encourage anyone to donate, whether or not you play or not. It's all going to the Dragon Con charity. I don't know which charity that is this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But Dragon Con will match every dollar donated up to $100,000. They've only ever hit that $100,000 mark. I think they hit it last year. I don't know if they hit it the year before, but it's at least one of the years when they got the 100,000 mark, they matched a little bit over it, I think.
Oh.
But I'm just there playing to have fun. Anyone that shows up is welcome to play. Donations are, of course, encouraged. The charities are always wonderful. They've been told it's the
I was informed it is the Arthritis Foundation is this year's
cool.
charity.
Yeah. Dragon Con always does a good job choosing a charity that's a good cause. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. And man, hearing how much they can actually like donate every year is always really like nerds do cool things. Do you ever run into a situation if there's someone who's like, I'm determined to beat the chess Joe?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had people that have played me years, multiple years in a row. I mean, there's people that have played me, many times in the same year. You're more than welcome to. The only objection is, if it's somebody that's played me 4 or 5 times in a row and there's other people waiting, maybe
let someone else
wait until it's cleared up a bit. Usually I'm not terribly busy. I mean, the games tend to go relatively quickly. I mostly play very fast games online, so I do my best to make my moves within a couple of seconds. The game length usually is determined by how slow the other person is playing. But
humble brag.
I mean,
you've been doing this for so long, and I'm assuming you play chess outside of just Dragon Con. So
yeah, of course. I mean, I've been playing competitively since I was 10, and also it's the case where I play quickly, and it's definitely the advantage for the other person, right? Like, when I play quickly, I make mistakes, right? But it's significantly less like, when I go to and sit down in a tournament, games are going to take 3 hours to 5 hours. Ooh. And nobody wants that at the convention, right? No. Like, we're here to sit down and play a fast game, and I'm trying to keep the line moving. So if I lose a few games because I play quickly, it happens, right?
all 2 games that you lose every
yeah.
On the high end, you said.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Two on the high end. Oh boy, I think we are very close to running out of time. I'm so sorry. I would have loved to get into crazy stories with you guys. I will say, if anybody watching, if y'all run into these people, please enjoy, interact, ask them about cool stuff. All of them are all wonderful. And hopefully gave you a rundown of where you can find them both at con, outside of con, and sort of what they do, and just the general culture of sort of what's going on here. Seriously, thank you all so much. And honestly, as a person who's been coming to con for a while, it is legitimately so exciting to talk to every single one of you because you are all so iconic to me. So thank you guys so much, and happy con prep to all of you. May you get all your duckies and wands finished in time. And I think that's generally it. And may Godspeed on all costumes. And I hope you guys will enjoy the con when you get here, and say hi to all these wonderful people when you do. So thank you guys for joining us. And I hope you have a great con.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Squeak.